get on now, cause you know we got to get it wrong. Mary J is in the spot tonight, and I'ma make it feel alright. Come on, baby, just party with me. Let loose and set your body free. Leave your situations at the door, so when you step inside, jump on the floor. Come on, everybody, get on now, cause you know we got to get it wrong. Mary J is in the spot tonight, and I'ma make it feel alright. Come on, baby, just party with me. Let loose and set your body free. Leave your situations at the door, so when you step inside, jump on the floor.
Yo. If you guys can like the video, I'd appreciate it. I'll get it started here in a second or so, so make sure everybody can join.
Ooh, there ain't nothing I can do with a woman like you, but I love you any kind of way. You say what's on your mind. Ooh, there ain't nothing I can do with a woman like you, but I love you any kind of way. You say what's on your mind. Ooh, there ain't nothing I can do with a woman like you, but I love you any kind of way. You say what's on your mind. Ooh, there ain't nothing I can do with a woman like you, but I love you any kind of way. You say what's on your mind. There ain't nothing I can do with a woman like you, but I love you any kind of way. You say what's on your mind. Ooh, there ain't nothing I can do with a woman like you, but I love you any kind of way. You say what's on your mind. Ooh, there ain't nothing I can do. I love you. There ain't nothing I can do. I love you any kind of way.
Should be able to see me now. Okay, so the music should be stopped. You should only hear me, if I'm correct on that. If you guys can like the video, I'd appreciate it. We're gonna have to build our way back here, it seems, which is understandable. I mean, I still believe there was about 600 views or something on last night's video, which I was surprised for weekly forecast. So we're just going to have to build our way back here. It shouldn't take long. But make sure to like the video. Subscribe if you haven't. If you haven't been here before, welcome. If you've were here from last year, then you know the drill. You know basically everything that happens. I mean, nothing's really changed a whole lot since last year. It's just been the same stuff. And I mean, there's some new things that I'll probably be doing that you may not notice or be familiar with if you weren't inside of the private group. If you're inside of the private group, then obviously what's good, you know what's happening. I'm going to try to refrain from using that word, because as soon as I say that word, people are going to start freaking out. So we're going to see how that one goes. But let's get the show on the road here. I'm not going to spend too much time with the introduction and all that stuff. I just want to kind of get into trading, and then we'll see how today performs. If anything happens on the stream, let me know. That way I can kind of monitor it. So as far as where I'm at, if you haven't been on my Twitter, I guess I'll have to link that. I mean, it's probably in the bio, but I have a live account with My Funded Futures, which is a very difficult task to obtain. You have to complete 30 $300 profitable days. It took me about 6 months. I did it across multiple accounts, so now I'm going to have access to about 5 figures in a live account with them. So that means, you know, having no trailing drawdown, having unlimited payouts, or at least no restrictions on it. So it's pretty cool. I'm still waiting on them. I think it should happen this week. It's been difficult with Christmas and then New Year's to kind of been emailing back and forth with the support team. So hopefully it happens at least today, honestly. So for maybe the beginning of the week, I'm going to be on paper trading, and it just kind of is what it is. And we'll kind of go from there. But let's take a look. We're about to go into the open. Remember, today is a Monday where we don't have any news event drivers, and tomorrow we do, and then we have NFP this week, so I just kind of be very careful. I mentioned yesterday that I'm a little uncertain as far as like the daily time frame. It looks a little bit odd, but we walked over a few things as far as intermarket relationships and what we could potentially see this week. Potentially lower prices. I would like to see how the beginning of the week starts. Anytime that you go into a week and I'm uncertain or unclear and there isn't a lot of things for me personally, then I'm just going to wait for probably Monday to play out, and then if Tuesday has a news event driver, then I'll look to engage into it. I may look to engage with, you know, it's going to be hard. It's a little bit easier when I'm in a private setting, but it's been, since I haven't really traded too much over Christmas and then New Year's, to be honest, I haven't looked at the charts a whole lot. I've just taken time away. This is a time where I would just kind of be on paper trading and kind of just throwing in orders in there to kind of get a feel. And it doesn't really matter if I'm right or I'm wrong. If you take time away, I've said this multiple times throughout the whole year, even with my group last year, is if you've taken time away, go into paper trading, and this comes directly from ICT, is just to put in a bunch of paper trading orders. Whether you think it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. Whether you get it right, you lose money, you win money, it doesn't matter. It's just to get a feel for the market. Let's get a feel for the fluctuations, the timing, all that aspects, and to get yourself back into the motion of things. Sometimes, you know, it takes me a little bit to kind of get back into the swing of things. That way you don't just blindly go into a live account and you just start pressing buttons and then you end up losing. You're like, well, what the hell? That's a really good practice that I've always utilized when taking time away from the market. So I would definitely recommend it. As long as if you can like the video, I know there's about I think 70 of you in here. If you can like the video, I'd appreciate it. That way we can at least get it out there into the YouTube algorithm. But as long as the picture looks clear, I'll probably get into the chart here. I'm not used to the delay. To be completely honest with you, between Discord and this, it's very weird. I'm used to having immediate responses. nobody's responding, but I'll just get into it. We mentioned last night that the daily time frame has a sell side imbalance that is resting right here. So if price was to look or seek for lower prices, the daily time frame could potentially go into the sell side imbalance, which is resting up here. And it looks like that's what we're doing. Inside of this dealing range from this high down to this low, we're inside of a premium, right? Equilibrium is resting right here. You have your sell side imbalance. This last up close candle would be a bearish order block. And the reason we'd be looking at lower prices is due to intermarket relationships. We had SMT to support it. Does it automatically mean that I'm going to be shorting it? No. But that's my idea going into the week, and I'd probably just look for that and look for the evidence. If something changes or I don't see a price giving me that, then I'm not going to force it. Again, letting time do the work for you is most definitely going to be your biggest asset, or at least help. And I've stated this all throughout last year's. If you're unclear on something, then just let time and price do the work for you. There's no reason to force something. Let it show its hand and then make a move on it. It says my stream is unhealthy or poor. Just let me know if it does become a bit bad or something. I'll have to do something. Hopefully it doesn't. So if you look at the 4-hour time frame, we're going into this imbalance here, which from that dealing range high to low, again, is inside of a premium. The hourly time frame, excuse me, is inside of the same refined inefficiency, which is here. We're driving up into that currently. Last week we took out this low, and since then we've kind of reverted away from it. We've had this huge expansion, cleaned up all the buy side liquidity, which was here. So we'll see what today presents. You know, if I was bullish, I would have to make the case that price would want to seek potentially this high all the way up here. The reason I would be looking at that is because, again, that's your dealing range that you're in, right? So you would have to be looking at the idea of want to potentially run for that, which I don't have the evidence for it. Again, intermarket relationships guides me, SMT guides me as far as a narrative or something to stick with. I have to kind of, for now, I'm going to be looking for lower prices, and I have to wait for that. It's a Monday with no news event driver, so you kind of have to just chill, wait for price to give you the evidence for it. Thank you for the beginning of the course. Yeah, of course, brother. I know it's helped a lot of people. It's actually, to be honest with you, it's been a great help as far as when people ask me what trading is, like close friends or people that, you know, acquaintances. When they're like, I want to learn trading, it's like, it's super easy just to kind of give them that course and say, look, like, this is a good spot to start from. And then if they have questions or they want to learn more, then I'll direct them. Let's go into lower time frames here. I'm kind of buffering, so hopefully. YouTube has a terrible like latency, and it's so bad compared to Discord. New week opening gap current, which is here. I don't really like, this is going to confuse people. I don't really like this. I don't like these previous new week opening gaps, to be honest with you. I should remove them, but apparently not. There we go. So you will see me do some new things here. I'll try my best to not throw everything at you all at once, but I will be going down to a seconds chart. I do utilize the 15 to 30 second a lot, very often now. It's something that I've highly made a change to it. There's going to be some changes as far as like entry patterns. So I'm just going to take things a little bit slower. I have to call you guys something else because people are going to start freaking out if I keep saying that. My old group, that might be a better word. My old group, as you guys are in here, you obviously understand the things that I do. So RTH gap. Thank you, Oki. How does the screen look? Does the screen look okay? Everything look fine? I'm getting Discord notifications. Thank you, Cliff. I knew somebody was going to say that, but like I generally just wear white beaters because it's the most comfortable thing for me. Like, I wake up and I'm not going to get dressed. Jafar, no, I don't know how to stream both, to be honest with you, bro. I think it's going to be difficult. I'm going to move this mic. Hey. Thank you, thank you. If you're just joining and could like the video, I appreciate it. Sorry, I think, I don't know if maintenance is knocking on our door. I'm almost positive they are. That's fine. Our freezer basically melted and flooded our apartment yesterday, so. If you look at ES didn't make a higher high, but NQ did. Apologies. Maintenance is here to repair my fridge, so just a little hiccup there. First FEG would be here, Cliff. That would be at the 940 candle, correct? Burrows, I got you. Yeah, our fridge like literally flooded my entire apartment yesterday. So they decided to come right now. Let's take a look here though. Again, it is very difficult when you look at these lower time frames to get an idea as far as, like, if I'm leaning on the idea on this higher time frame that I could be expecting lower prices just because prices moving higher currently off the open, I'm not really sold on that. Also on Monday with no news event drivers, it's something where I'm not completely sold on it. So I would give it time and just kind of chill. You have to remember where you're at on the higher time frames. So this is the sell side imbalance here. And I'm waiting to kind of see the reaction as we go into really the silver bullet. I mean, more or less the macro. We got 7 minutes or so until that. Yeah, and yellow news is kind of meh to me. I don't pay too much attention to it. Am I a silver bullet trader? I mean, so. Yeah, I wouldn't say I only stick to that. It's not like last year, no. We can leave this in a second. So this is what I mean by keeping in mind of the daily time frame, keeping in mind of intermarket relationships, keeping in mind of the SMT. As if you start to see lower prices out of this, don't be surprised. You have to remember where you're at here, or at least I should say this. You have to remember where you're at here in order to be trading this down here, right? The 1 minute. Does that automatically mean that, you know, we're going to see lower prices? No, but I'm keeping on that idea today. I favor it. So I just have to wait, and if I don't get it, then it is what it is. I can mark this up for you. So this whole run up here, I wonder if I have a line for this. Should make one. How do you save this as a template? There we go. This mic is annoying me. Yeah, I know. Trying not to talk too much. That's till they're kind of done. This mic picks up on everything. You think all this is an expansion higher is a fake move? It could be. I'm going to lean on that idea. I'm more patient on Monday, especially within the first. I mean, we're 17 minutes into the open, so all for the preparation and everything that I did yesterday. I should be expecting lower prices, so just kind of wait for it. I think that's going to be a little bit better. Nico, yeah. I've changed some things on how I trade. I think I'm a little less strict, and you're going to see that. Not meaning it's a bad thing being less strict. I think sometimes being too strict is actually a bad thing. So you'll see it throughout the next few months here. No, Jafar. He's saying charter. No, the private group. My private group is not open anymore. Never mind, Mantis. LOL. Talk, what's up? Good to see you. If you guys can like the video, I know there's about 100 of you in here. We get it to like 80, that would be great. They left? Okay, cool. Yeah, dude, I heard like knocking and I saw our door unlocked. I'm like, what the maintenance unlocked your door. What makes you want to live stream again? I mean, truthfully, money. I'm just being honest. I mean, I'm gonna really try not to confuse people. I still have my private group that I was with all last year, and I enjoy teaching with them. and there's about 40 or 50 left. I mean, a lot of them stuck with me for a long time. Is the volume too low? But I do enjoy teaching to a lot of different people, so YouTube's a great way to expose that, and I enjoy being out here. I mean, I'm only going to do it for a few months, just like last year, and then go right back into private. I mean, it's probably what I'm going to do every single year. Jafar. I mean, sort of, to be honest, yeah. I mean, all of you have already kind of learned to a certain extent of what I do, and I think all of you are on your own now, so it's fun to teach the newer people who have new questions and things like that. For the most part, I think the viewership right now is everything that I had last year. I think most people are aware of who I am. It's nothing new. I don't see any new names. I mean, besides like one. If you look at Midnight Open and the 8:30 Open, we're above both of those. We're in a really deep premium, and whether or not this thing keeps expanding, that's going to be the question. I'm kind of just standing on the idea of not trading it higher currently, and if it keeps expanding, it is what it is. I mean, I don't have the idea of trading it higher today. If we close above this sell side imbalance on the hourly, then I'd probably start looking to potentially look for higher prices. But again, the daily time frame is really my main focus. If you look at ES is failing to kind of make these higher highs that NQ is. It's struggling. It's not doing as much as NQ is. Also, if you look at like a 30-second chart, all of this is just slowly building up higher. So you have to think of like a lot of sell stops from being trailed in here. This is what I forgot to do. I've been all over the place today. So this is another part of the equation here, would be the RTH gap, which is beneath us. If it can load. Thank you. I turned up my mic volume. Hopefully it's a little bit louder. What is RTH? It's regular trading hours. So if you toggle from electronic trading hours to regular trading hours, this is from yesterday's closure to today's open. So there's a gap that you're not going to see on electronic trading. And we utilize that as really, you could say a confluence, or you can say an idea for a trading idea. So let's say I'm looking for lower prices. I would be looking for a price to trade into that opening range gap, to trail that into it, close it, whether that's 25%, 50%, 75%, the whole thing. It can be utilized for that. Overall, I do like the relative equal lows down here. We did drop right off the open, or at least going into the open. I'd probably need some evidence to really want to short it. Even though I'm biased like that, I would like to see a nice collapse. Yeah, seeing something where we collapse underneath, let's say this down close candle here, and underneath the first presented FEG, that would be a good point to start looking for potential shorts. Seeing a break there would be a good confirmation. Yeah, it's fine, Tal. Where's Musa? Sorry, Cliff. My Nightbot apparently doesn't like whatever you put in there. There's Musa. I see you. I got you. That's good, brother. I know all your names changed, so you just gotta edit your names to whatever Discord name was. Cutie. I should check my email. Still nothing from my funded. Good to see you in public again. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. Alantine, Happy New Year. Thank you. you're wondering, I do play with these. Not as much, but if you hear poker chips, my bad. Something is wrong about the video quality. It hurts my eyes. I'm not sure what that means, unless somebody else has some input. I'll try to change it. Quality's fine. It may be on your end. I don't. Maybe you have to change it. What account size do you have? It's going to be 15,000 of a real live, not what's the term? It's not a funded. It's an actual real live account with them. No trailing drawdown. No restrictions on withdrawals. Any of that. Yeah, you should be able to get to 1440p. Maybe we can get ICT in one of these live streams eventually. Never did it last year. Maybe this year. I'd like to see if we can see a potential run lower here. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. It is what it is. Yeah, that was a running joke last year. I think he might this year. I mean, I'm debating on going into Robbins, to be completely honest with you. I really am. So, I know that would draw a lot of eyes. It would draw him for sure. I'm not doing it for that purpose. But I know it would. Muhammad. Are you on a desktop or are you on your phone? Just do it. Dustin. Yeah, I think going with the 2022 model would be the easiest thing, and then working with your psychology would be the next thing. 2022 model would be the easiest thing, and then working with your psychology would be the next thing. 2022 model would be the easiest thing, and then working with your psychology would be the next thing. 2022 model would be the easiest thing, and then working with your psychology would be the next thing. 2022 model would be the easiest thing, and then working with your psychology would be the next thing. 2022 model would be the easiest thing, and then working with your psychology would be the next thing. 2022 model would be the easiest thing, and then working with your psychology would be the next thing. 2022 model would be the easiest thing, and then working with your psychology would be the next thing. 2022 model would be the easiest thing, and then working with your psychology would be the next thing. 2022 model would be the easiest thing, and then working with your psychology would be the next thing. 2022 model would be the easiest thing, and then working with your psychology would be the next thing. 2022 mod finding a simple model and sticking with that, and then working on your psychology, most importantly, would be the best route to take. Pretty boring so far. Unsuspected. Yeah, me either. Um, Muhammad, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Uh, Hopefully it clears up for you. Dustin, as far as your question, no, I mean, you're utilizing it on a 1 minute, but the 2022 model is just a model. A model is just something you work with, or a framework. I think there's a lot more to it, and you'll learn as time goes on. It's something that you have to just give time to. This whole experience is really. Did they leave or what? I got you. What do I think about ICT and his performance? I mean, it's upsetting to see that he didn't do anything. But at the same time, I guess I understand why he didn't. I mean, the reason he didn't watch this expansion lower is because nobody got on the leaderboard that was really in competition with him. But at the same time, I mean, if you're going to be in a competition, it shouldn't really matter. You shouldn't wait for your opponent to try to place on something. You know, if you're going to say you're going to do it, you should just do it. So I'm a little upset he didn't do it, but does that change anything on how I view him or how I trade his concepts? No. I really couldn't give a shit less, to be honest with you. I know he knows what he's doing. Like, it's not a problem for me, to be honest. People care so much about other people rather than themselves. I think it's hilarious. People focus so much on other people and how they're doing in this industry, and rather than their own performance. I mean, you'll just see it in the chat as we grow here. Like, the amount of people that will just start chatting a bunch of shit, or it's because these people don't have any accomplishments of their own. And obviously ICT has talked a lot of shit, so I can understand it, but short now. Yeah, Dustin, I would definitely say that. I mean, I definitely like people that are man of their word, but I mean, at the end of the day, his concepts work for me. They make me profitable, and I really don't care, to be honest with you. I mean, that's the thing with mentors. It's like, even me. Let's just say I taught you how to be profitable, right? But yet I couldn't do it. Would that would that affect you in any way? I mean, it really shouldn't. Obviously, you want to see your mentor be profitable and do the things that they say they can do, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really affect your own performance. So I really, at the end of the day, I stopped caring. Yeah, exactly, Claude. I mean, I stopped caring, man. Harold, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I think this is where a lot of people get antsy and they're trying to short or they're trying to long it and they're trying to do anything but just give it time. I mean, I just don't see anything in here that's worthwhile. Muhammad, I appreciate it. Nikki, yeah, that's why you don't see me active on a lot of things. That's why I don't really like, you know, being out in public. It's just a whole lot of drama, and I would just rather trade, man. I don't. I like to trade and teach people. Everything else is just annoying and noise. The 15-minute, we IOFED'd it here, and we're seeing an expansion away from it. This is the point where, you know, I'm biased on lower prices, but we're really failing to do so, and we're really failing to want to drop any lower. So this is where I'm going out to these higher time frames, and I'm kind of looking at them and trying to remember where we're at. Again, this weekly time frame buy center bounce here, we're expanding away from it, right? So on the daily time frame, the last point of interest for lower prices would be the sell side imbalance, and we're really starting to trade through it. We're starting to see it on the 4-hour, the hourly. We're really starting to trade through these premium imbalances, sell side imbalances. And if anything in here was just a drop lower into the first, back into the first presented FEG, took out the low here, and we're starting to trade off higher. So I'm really not trying to force shorts. As far as longs, it's a little bit difficult for me, to be honest. Something where we have no news event drivers on an NFP week with this delivery so far, I'd probably just be waiting for tomorrow. But we'll see what we get. I mean, Yusuf, what's up? If you're just joining, if you can like the video, I'd appreciate it. Looks like we got pretty decent likes on it so far. But as far as the schedule, I'll be back doing daily logs every day, so that will be posted. Twitter, I'm going to try to do my best. I want to upload like actual annotations, full detailed annotations on like a 1-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, a 15-minute chart, even a seconds chart if I find the day useful, and uploading those to Twitter. That way you can study it along with the daily logs and along with the live streams. And then even Saturdays I want to do like a psychology podcast, something where I can have the live chat open. That way you guys can ask questions. We can go over psychological things that will really, really help you. And kind of just go from there. I mean, it's going to be the same things. Jeez almighty. So hopefully that's a good schedule. Hopefully it seems all right with all of you. I mean, again, nothing's going to change too much from last year. I'm not going to try to tinker with something that's not really broken. And I think we'll grow I mean, give me a week time. I mean, this happened last year. We were probably resting. We were probably underneath this amount of viewers this time last year, within the first day. But give me 1 month, and I bet this will be back to 5, 6, 800, maybe 1,000 viewers. Not that it really matters, but I know a lot of you like to see me grow, and I definitely think with a little bit of time, we'll be back to where we're at. What is this up close candle here? Breaker, very good. Not a mitigation block, no, it's a breaker. High, low, higher high. The issue really with me is as far as longing this, I just don't really have a destination for price. You know, people see models, they see things that they, you know, deem as something they want to enter off of, but yet they don't have any sort of context. They don't have anywhere they want to aim towards, right? That's very important to understand where price would want to go. I don't really know where price wants to go. I had an idea of today, and it's starting to change. So I don't really know where price would want to go. And to me, that's a skill set. That's not a lack of understanding or a lack of knowledge. That's just a skill set to say, look, I really don't know where price is going. I had a agenda. I had an idea for the week. And so far, it's really not panning out to where I was expecting it from yesterday, which is fine. You know, you shouldn't expect perfection off of a weekly forecast. That's, you know, to me, it's just an idea. But so far, you know, we're starting to change. We're really starting to gravitate higher. We're disrespecting bearish PD arrays, meaning these sell side imbalances on the daily time frame, the 4 hour, the hourly. So it may want to gravitate towards, let's say, this high up here from last week. But currently where we sit, I don't feel very comfortable just yet with that idea. We'll see how we start trading. I mean, if I have to wait for a full daily closure to give me certainty for a direction, then that's fine. I don't feel like an idiot after the math to say, look, you know, I could have been trading it higher. Yes, in hindsight, everything else is easier. But currently where we sit, I just don't feel like comfortable longing it. So I'm just going to wait. And if it ends up going higher, it ends up going higher. It kind of is what it is. Ooh. It's funny, I've changed the way I reviewing last year's streams. I was talking all the time. Since I've been live streaming a whole year now, I've kind of chilled out on my delivery. Obviously, if I get questions, I'm going to be answering them, but just reviewing how I was doing last year. I mean, I was a very new streamer, so I mean, I know a lot of people liked it, but it does get exhausting to be talking all the time. And I don't want to get carried away from the charts. I want to focus on what price is doing. Yeah, I would say the issue for me currently is I don't really have a particular target for price to really reach for. Um, it's just I could see a vehicle to get there if you want to talk in those type of terms. So I could see a model, which was the breaker, this inefficiency. And now we've expanded higher. We're rejecting off of this down close candle, which is an order block. But I don't really have a destination for price. Again, overall, it would probably have to seek this high up here. Nikki, I appreciate it. Yeah, I think I've changed a lot since being in the private group, and being privately is it's much more enjoyable at times. Cloud. Let me see what it said. I guess I can't unretract that. I also take longs. We're in a really deep premium, so it's very difficult for me to look at this and say I want to long it. To be honest with you, it's very minimal runs on sell side. I mean, a little shallow run on internal here with the initial drop, but really never in underneath this low. RTH gap is still beneath us. I'm still pretty biased on intermarket relationships. I mean, that's to me that's pointing to lower prices. So that's the thing with narrative and higher time frames and combining SMT and intermarket relationships is you have to understand if those things point to something, then you have to be willing to sit on one side and say, look, I'm going to draw the line in the sand here. I'm only going to be looking for this. Even though price may be doing something different, currently it could end up flipping and ends up playing out to where I'm expecting it to. So currently, I mean, I just don't see the, as far as probability wise, longing it. I don't have a particular direction. I don't have a particular target. I think it's too deep at a premium, meaning it's too high for me without really any runs on sell side that are major. I think there's too much evidence against it, so I'm just going to sit and chill. If that means I would have to wait for a full daily closure in order to gain a better perspective, then so be it. I'm not going to, you know, on a Monday to have FOMO to me is, that's kind of stupid. You have the whole week ahead of you. What are you worrying about? Romer, what up? Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, me either. So we all know that. What that means, it means to sit and chill. If you don't know what the hell price is trying to go for or seek, then what are you trying to force it for? Musa. Okay, I'm gonna have to adjust my Nightbot still. Apparently doesn't like caps. Can you make oatmeal with water, or does it have to be milk? I'm pretty sure you can. Alright, cool. Yeah, I don't have any milk, that's why I ask. Shibboleth, yeah, I mean, I usually put milk in it. But I guess it's just water. I know it's a random question. Oh, this is quite boring to me, man. Quite bored by this. No, you're alright. I gotta adjust it so it doesn't keep retracting messages or deleting them. Says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Hopefully it's alright. Forex prop firm recommendations. To be honest, I haven't even messed with Forex in a while, but FTMO, I know they're good. I just don't know if you're US based or not. My funded is good. Those are the only two I really remember, to be honest with you. I've been in futures so long, I don't remember what the hell Forex prop firms are out there. Why is it saying the stream health is bad? Is the stream okay? Razy, what up, brother? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. Hope everything's good, my man. All right, cool. Thank you. Yeah, YouTube's weird. It'll say like the stream status is poor, but yet it's still streaming fine. It's weird. Very good to hear, my man. Yeah, it was a good break. I mean, I'll be honest, I live streamed every single trading day basically last year, whether it was publicly or privately. I mean, I streamed almost every single day. But it's good to be back out here. We'll see how much we can grow this year. Appreciate you. Yeah, that was probably one of the hardest challenges I've ever had to do in my life, to be honest with you. It was difficult, man. But I'm glad I got it done. I should be able to get access to it this week. I'm hoping today. I gotta email the dude. Well, I got some big things planned for this year. I think we can really, really grow this year. Yeah, it should be this week. I'm sure with Christmas and then New Year's, I know the support team's kind of been off. Yeah, the milestone, it definitely is a good plan. I haven't looked too much into it, but I always say if there's a plan to get you into a live account where you don't have a trailing drawdown and you have, no restrictions on your withdrawals, things like that are very, very good. And that's the reason why I pushed for it. I didn't really care about any of the money. I didn't care about really building up the account. I just wanted the live account, which, it took me about 6 months to do it. I didn't do it in a week or a couple days. It took me 6 months. Because I got the accounts I got funded in July, I think, or maybe June. Maybe it was July, and then I just got it in the end of December. So it was definitely it was difficult. My group that I was with, or still with, they saw me go through a lot of struggles with it. As far as just like $300 days. There's multiple times where I'd get to $280, $290, especially with copy trading. Some of them would get to 300, some of them wouldn't. A lot of days where I'd take a partial or a price would get close to it, reverse. It was difficult, man. And it's not the way that you really should be trading. You should be looking to trade the way you're comfortable with. But for me, I like taking partials, moving stops, and it kind of changed the way I trade. So it made things much more difficult. But I understood that once I was able to achieve it, to me, it's such a good thing to have. Especially if I join Robin's Cup this year as well, having both of those together, I think it's going to be a really, really good time. I'm still debating if I want to do it or not. I definitely wouldn't do it probably till the end of this month or something. Just because I'm not very comfortable with this price action so far. We'll see what January kind of provides. So far today's been that's meh. I'd pay attention to ES. If ES starts to sell off in here, I'd be looking at NQ pretty closely. You know me with the questions. What was the biggest takeaway? The biggest takeaway was, well, I would say going for static kind of runs on price, because I wasn't taking many partials. That's what I'm used to. It can be very, very helpful. But also, overall, what I learned from it is just what I learned is that I can do it. I learned that I was able to accomplish that. And I may not answer the question, but I talk about it all the time, especially with drawdown and going into drawdown. If you can go into your back pocket, meaning your memory, and when you go into drawdown, you're on a losing streak or something like that, being able to reach into that back pocket and say, look, I have accomplished these things. I've got myself out of drawdown. I've done this, this, and this. It gives you confidence to keep going, especially when you're in drawdown, you're on a losing streak. If you've made it out of drawdown, not just once, twice, multiple times where you've been down, you didn't do it out of over leveraging. You didn't do it out of gambling. You did it out of pure strategy. You did it out of pure, following your rules and your models and everything that you're supposed to be doing. That gives you confidence to reach back into that memory bank when you're in those situations. Say, look, I can go back into that and I can do it again. And that's really what the challenge did for me. It said, look, I accomplished this. I was able to do it. So now if I'm presented anything, man, I think I most definitely have that confidence to complete it. That's the reason why I feel semi-confident. I wouldn't even say semi. I feel very confident going to Robin's Cup, to be honest with you. Whether that's the place on the leaderboard or not, I wouldn't be, doing anything really too differently. I'd just be trading the way I trade. And, whether it was a 50% return or, honestly, looking at this year, I mean, the fifth person got like 100% return, which is really, it's definitely something to be proud of, but I don't think it's that difficult, to be honest with you. I think it's actually very easy. Top person, I think, on futures was about 500%, which that's pretty up there. I don't think I'd be able to complete that, but I think about 100 to 200% return by the end of this year, I definitely think I could do that. So I know it's a prolonged answer, but you know me, once you get me going on a question, it's kind of a ramble. Yeah, ES is a little bit lower. I mean, I would really need to see a sell-off. I'm not trying to pick a top in this. I would rather wait for price to expand or give some type of idea. Otherwise, this thing may just keep gravitating higher. And I'm not comfortable right now longing this. I mean, I'd have to wait for tomorrow in order to probably do that, or at least see some type of switch. I mean, if you take a look at the weekly time frame, I think that's where you're going to see, some type of evidence of that, where we're still within this buy side imbalance and we're still within this down close candle, and we've rejected it and we've moved away from it. So overall, if I was looking at the weekly time frame, I would have to look at the idea of possibly price seeking the all-time high again, which it does go against really, you can hear that's a garbage truck. It does go against potentially dollar index and some other things. So I have a garbage truck outside, so let me hear that. I'm not going to mute the mic. I don't know if it picks it up or not. I have no idea. This is really high resistance. I would not have an enjoyable time even trying to trade this. Even if I was long this, or even if I was in the on side. If you're just joining the stream, I'd appreciate if you'd like the video. I think there's about 150 now, so if you can bump it up a little bit on the likes, I'd appreciate it. Welcome if you're new. Actually, you plan to buy more guns with money this year? So I'd bring out, I don't think I can bring out mine on stream. I don't think that's allowed. A toy gun. Yes. Let's watch what the macro does. ES is failing to make that higher high. But at this point, I think we're really grinding higher, man. We really, really are. Back to 9 to 5. All right, bro. I'll catch you later. Bofellow, thank you, brother. Happy New Year's to you as well. Let's just observe what this macro does, and then we'll kind of go from there. I mean, if I don't execute anything today, just no issue to me. So if you observe ES and NQ made a higher high, well, ES failed to make it. I mean, it can mean something, but it could also just mean absolutely nothing. ES could climb and make the new higher high. It's not going to mean anything. Actually, yeah, I'm surprised I even have 150 viewers. I mean, it's pretty good off the first day here. We'll get back to where we're at. I'm not worried about it at all, to be honest with you. Ooh, that was my elbow. Is it? Let me see. It looks fine on my end. What is it? What is it doing? It's lagging. I don't know if it's fixed it or not, but I don't see what it's doing. On my end, everything looks fine. It's fixed. Okay, cool. What was the average views? I mean, towards the end, I was averaging at least 500 easily. Is it doing it again? Igor, yeah, just send it to me. Thank you. I mean, to be honest, I think it's just an internet connection type of thing. This is bit rate. I mean, it's honestly as long as the video is clear, I really don't care about, or as long as the screen's clear, I really don't care about my webcam. It's whatever. I'm not too concerned with it. As long as you can hear me, you can look at the charts. It's probably the last thing I really care. Romer, yeah, we're gonna see what this year provides. I think we'll do it. Just do what I always do, and we'll just grow from there. I mean, I think Tanya's now averaging like 2,000 or 3,000, which is very impressive. I mean, she deserves it. She's been grinding this whole year. I think she's at like 100,000 subscribers too, which is crazy. I don't know. Overall, this is a really, really boring day for me, at least. Did I expect it? Yes. Game over? Yeah, most definitely. She definitely deserves it. Yeah, I saw that. Would I do that? I probably would. I'd probably collab with some people. But I don't want to feel like a leech to anybody, man. I mean, I'm sure everybody wants to help each other, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not just going to do it just to leech viewership from people. Yeah, I know something's wrong with the webcam. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure it out. I may just do this. Webcams, I'm just going to turn that off for now. Since people are mentioning it, I would rather just figure it out. Game over. I appreciate it. Yeah. I definitely think I've changed a lot from last year. I mean, I've been live streaming this whole time just privately, and I think doing that, I've just become a lot more relaxed, a lot more chill. Which I know it's not anything different from what you guys have seen who've been with me. I mean, this is pretty normal stuff. But reviewing last year, man, I was talking every second. I think that's why some people really liked me. I mean, if you get me on a rant, I'll just keep going. But for the most part, man, I mean, I just want to trade and chill, and if I can teach during that moment, then I'm going to do so. But I'd rather want the experience to be like where you're just watching over somebody else's shoulder. Like you're just watching over them, seeing how they're doing. Why did they take the trade? What's their thought process? And overall, I think some people just enjoy being, or at least watching somebody else while they're trading. It can be a little bit more interactive, not so much being by yourself. That's why I like live streaming, personally. Because at times like this, I mean, I'd just be bored out of my mind. Let's see here. I'm going to try to turn on my webcam again. But, might be frozen. Looks like I'm frozen. Am I frozen? Did the webcam pop up, back up? It's frozen. Alright, I'm just going to turn it off for today. You trade on personal or funded? I'm on my funded with the live account with them. Game over, learned a lot from you. We were talking about over trading, going to the gym. Learned a lot from you, appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you've seen the video. I think going to the gym is one of the most, for me personally, it's one of the most important aspects to trading. I mean, it's just a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable for me for the most part of the week, because I think it definitely trickles over to trading to a certain aspect. I mean, if you don't have discipline outside of trading, it definitely is going to affect your discipline within trading to a certain extent. So, you know, we talk about over trading, we talk about FOMO, greed, tilt. All of those things are things that we all encounter, and all of those things are things you have to work on personally outside of the charts. I mean, for me, the biggest hurdle, the biggest thing that I do still deal with to this day, I mean, it doesn't magically go away. I think for the rest of my career, I'll always encounter it, is tilting. Does that mean I take action on tilting? Does that mean I go in and I'm, over leveraging and I'm over trading? No. But those emotions will definitely still be there. You're still going to feel anger. You're still going to feel like you want to revenge. You want to get back at the market. And I think with your skill set, as it increases or as you see more success, that almost increases, because really you become more egotistical. At least I've seen it within myself, is, if I take a loss or something like that, or string of losses, something like that, it can spark something within me that pisses me off. And if you've seen a lot of success and you know the skill set that you have obtained, then that can almost trigger it even more, because you believe that, well, since I'm this good, I shouldn't be taking these losses, or I shouldn't be making these mistakes, I shouldn't be doing these things. So you have to watch out for that as well. And that's why we talk about, which is a running joke in here already, the mental game of trading. It's definitely something that helped my career tremendously, was that book. And going through that book and journaling and going through the certain processes that he has you go through, because it uncovers a lot of the psychological issues that you do encounter here. JH, that's a good question. How do you get out of the studying phase? I find it hard to get into backtesting, knowing exactly what to do when I'm exactly. So that's a good question. When do you get out of the studying phase? Well, for me, I mean, personally, I'm just going to talk from personal experience. I mean, to sit down and backtest and watch ICT's videos, when did I stop doing that? I probably stopped doing that about 4 years in. I mean, truthfully, like, I've been with him since 2020, 2019, so almost 4 or 5 years I've been with him. I mean, I stopped watching his videos and, studying everything that he says and going into backtesting. I stopped doing that like probably last year. I didn't do that really as much. I never really watched anything that he did. But where to start? I mean, for me, I was always obsessed. I was always obsessed to a certain degree with these charts, that for me, if I went and watched one of his videos, I would immediately go into the charts and I'd start trying to apply what he taught, whether that was in a live market or whether that was back testing. I recommend back testing. So let's say he teaches you, let's just say for an example, the 2022 model. Well, I'm going to go back into data, and I'm going to go back into specifically a time, which would be really the silver bullet, and I'm going to look for examples of it. And I'm going to look for examples of the whatever model he taught or whatever concept he taught, and I'm going to look at it. And I used to go into, where I'd be taking screenshots and I'd be marking up. Like right now, I can identify so many things in here, and I don't have it marked up because that's just I've changed it into a different type of trade where I'm really just like a naked chart, but I see it all, right? I don't like a whole lot of annotations anymore. But as a newer student, I was marking up everything possible and putting every single annotation on there. Like in here, just from the top to the bottom, I'll give you an example of what I would do, right? If I was looking at today and I was wanting to go back and back test it, and look at the examples of what he's taught and apply it, then I would be looking at this whole day saying, okay, well, I'm going to mark up the PD arrays, which PD arrays are just fair value gaps, order blocks, breakers, mitigation, etc. Inversions. You have an inversion here. Let's just say this down close candle, that is your order block here. We're utilizing the CE of the wick, which is 50% of the wick. We expand away from it. This becomes a propulsion block, which is a order block. We reject off of the mean threshold of that. We move away from it. This is your first presented FVG, which was a new concept last year that they presented. And you're just marking all these things up, right? So you're taking boxes and you're labeling them inside of them, like I have in here. I'm not going to do it, but you're annotating that. And what is that doing? Well, that's getting your pattern recognition down, and that's how I would start studying. And you do that for multiple days. I mean, we have so much data that you can work with if you go to the continuous contract, and you can just sit there and do that and annotate it every single day over and over and over. I used to do this for hours on end. I would just sit and do it. And some people don't want to put in that work. I've never found that a struggle because I enjoyed it, right? I really, really enjoyed. I sit at these charts and I enjoy it. It's an addiction to me, honestly. But for some people, that's really difficult. But if that's difficult for you, then I would say just give yourself a certain amount of time to do that. Say, look, I'm going to do this for 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day. I'm going to have a journal where I can take screenshots, and I plug it away, and I just journal what price did today. What did I see today? And you do that even day to day. Each week, each day presents you a whole new landscape to annotate price and make these annotations. Most people don't want to put in that work, but for me, it was never work. I've never found this as like something where I dreaded doing it. I've always enjoyed doing this. It's always been a passion of mine. It sounds corny or whatever, but I mean, when you find something that you really, really enjoy or you love, it never feels like work. I mean, this has never felt like work to me. I've never dreaded it once, even throughout all the times that I've blown accounts. I've been losing for even multiple years in a row where I was just losing on end. I couldn't find consistency. I was, really doubting whether or not this would ever work. I just always loved this. I was never really playing to win. I was playing for the love of the game, really. Like, I just loved this so much that I really didn't care. I really, of course, my goal and my objective has always been to profitable and always to get to a point where I could live off of this, but it's always just been a love for it. And I can't teach that. Nobody can teach that to you. If you really don't, like, I'm going to be real. If you don't love this wholeheartedly, like you're obsessed with this, like really, really obsessed with it, like a psycho, I don't think you're going to make it, to be honest with you. This takes such a level of dedication and focus and concentration on and off the charts. It's really something you have to be doing, constantly working through your mind, like throughout my thoughts day to day, especially when I'm really, really deep in the grind. I'm constantly thinking about this. I'm thinking about how I'm going to improve, how I'm going to journal, how I'm going to do something different. These are things that, again, you can't teach that. That's something you have to be, hardwired with. I'm not saying, if you're not this level obsessed, you're not going to make it, but I'm just saying from a real aspect. I mean, anybody that's a professional in any career path, I mean, look at any professional basketball player, Kobe, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. These people are obsessed with their craft they're obsessed with it. This game is extremely difficult. You can't just half-ass it and be successful. It doesn't work. Am I only looking at a 1 minute time frame? I think a 1 minute time frame is good. Yes. Would I only look at a 1 minute time frame? No. All of them work together in tandem with each other, and that's why I think to understand when I talk about narrative, you have to be utilizing narrative on a higher time frame day to day to really understand it. But you're utilizing the daily time frame, the weekly time frame. Let's even just say the 4 hour and the hourly. You're utilizing those as kind of like your GPS, your roadmap. Okay, so when I look at these higher time frames, I'm saying, okay, well, where do these want to go? Because these are the parent. The lower time frames, the child. So wherever these want to go to, then I have to look at the 1 minute time frame and say, okay, cool. The 1 minute is going to follow whatever these higher time frames are trying to do. And the 1 minute, I'm plugging and playing with a certain model and certain PD arrays. Let's just say the easiest way to start off is to pick one PD array to stick with, which would be, for an example, a fair value gap or an order block. That's your entry pattern. And for me, it's always been a fair value gap. And for the most part, I'm always utilizing a fair value gap with it, right? That's the only thing that I really enter off of. Do I know what a breaker is? Do I know what an order block is? Do I know what these things are? Of course. But I stick with one thing. My majority, most of the time is just a fair value gap to enter off of. That's just what I found is most successful for me, which again is through journaling and through reporting back to yourself what works. Should we look for first presented on 1 minute or 5 minute? It's the 1 minute primarily. That's the one you should be. ICT is taught is the 1 minute first presented FEG. Hopefully that answered your question. Again, if you know me, if you ask me a question, I'll probably just start going on a rant on something that's not even associated with it, but hopefully that clears it up. And again, this takes a lot of time. It takes a whole lot of time to understand all of these concepts. I think ICT is the most advanced. I didn't start with him. I started with just retail logic, quote unquote, right? Retail concepts, and that was honestly easy. I thought those were pretty easy. I mean, when I first looked at these charts, I thought it was like a different foreign language. And then about a year in or 2 years in, I found ICT, and that's where, I mean, his concepts are like a doctorate degree. I mean, they're very, very advanced and sometimes very difficult to understand. And it takes time. You have to give yourself a lot of time to understand how to trade. It's not easy to conquer yourself. There's a really good quote out there. It says, like, nobody's coming to save you, which, that's a good quote, but I think a better quote would be, nobody's going to save you from yourself. And it's very real in trading, because nobody's going to save you. I can't save you. ICT can't save you from your own demise. I mean, if you're one of those people, and I've been one of those people where you constantly keep in this loop of mistakes and these things that you keep doing over and over and over again, nobody's coming to save you, and that should scare you into wanting to change. I mean, I've been there plenty of times where I could not change myself. I've been stuck in this, cycle of over leveraging, over trading, revenge trading, tilting, foaming into positions. I mean, all these things. And it's not just going to magically change. You have to be willing to change, and that means journaling, means buying books, picking up things that are going to help you change. Otherwise, you could just be stuck doing this and gambling for real for the rest of your life. I mean, that should scare you to want to change. JH, I mean, I wouldn't try to, it's a good, I understand your question because I've been there, but really I think the question that I would say, you're just trying to speed up the process. I mean, I still learn things from day to day. I mean, not as much as I used to, but you can't just teleport to a point where you know all this knowledge. Experience is the best thing in the world, because there's things that I can't explain sometimes on stream or to other people why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking. why I took the trade that I took. I mean, of course, there's some context and some logical response to it, but at times it's just experience. That's time built up doing this over and over and over again. You know, I've watched these candlesticks print for 7 years now, which is really nothing in that in the world of trading, but it does pay you. So I would just give yourself time. I mean, as far as studying, you just need to be applying it. As they go hand in hand. While you're studying, you're also applying it. You don't just study, and you do no applying. That's like somebody watching a workout video or watching a trainer saying how to work out, but yet you never apply it. You should be applying the things. If somebody tells you how to bench press, then you go attempt how to bench press without the fear of failing. That's why we have demo trading. That's why we have paper trading, is you go and you apply it without fear of failure. And then while you're, tempting it, then you're also still studying at the same time. I think you can do both at the same time, right? There's no right or wrong way of doing that. It's to me at times I think people are so afraid to fail that they just study, but yet they never apply it because they're so fearful of failing. It's like, dude, you're gonna fail. I've failed so many damn times. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. But you just get back up and you try it again. That's all you can really do. Why do you ignore S&T at the lows in the weekly forecast? Yeah, Brando, I was interested really only in shorts, and as price changes, that may be proving correct. So that may be right? Where obviously we're seeing a lot higher prices today. We're grinding higher, and price may want to seek, let's say, this high up here. And if that becomes true, and I can see that, then yes. But at the time, I was biased short, or at least that's what price was. At least what I was looking at. And really, for me, a good confirmation is closing above this sell side imbalance. If we close above that, then I can look for tomorrow potentially seeking this high up here. That's a question that I would have all the time last year. Even myself, it's like, well, I should have noticed that earlier, or I should have been biased that way. It's like, well, that's hindsight thinking, and to me, there's nothing good coming from that to try to beat yourself up over that. If price ended up going lower today and I did the right thing by ignoring the S&T, then that was the right thing to do. It's not even with S&T at times, it's not 100%. It's just a confluence, or at least a tip of the hand, something that shows you it could be changing, or it could be going this way or that way. Opinion on Mark Douglas. Mark Douglas is good. I think if you really want to go into something deep, Mental Game of Trading by Jared Tindler is I've recommended it for a long time. Basically since my live streaming last year, I've recommended it. It's one of the best books I've ever read. Am I looking for bearish prices? I'm not going to be trading. I don't trade really PM session. That's another thing from me personally. What I've gathered is you're going to learn less is more, man. The more you try to push, the more you try to trade, the more contracts you try to do, the more things you try to do in the market, the less you end up having. And again, this has to go with the fear of missing out. This also has to go with greed, where people constantly feel the need to do something because they want money, they want to exit the life that they're in, they want to just be trading and make money from thin air. I'm not saying trading the PM session is a bad idea. If you find success in that, then by all means do it. But for me, what I've found is, sticking to one time zone, one session, which is, it's already up. My time zone's already up. I'm just talking right now. But sticking to really that time period, which is really the open to the end of the silver bullet. If I don't find something within that period of time, then I just exit and I move away from the charts and I go enjoy my day. I'm not stuck here chained to the charts for 7-8 hours a day. It's not, to me, that's not freedom. That's being really owned by the charts, or owned by these markets, and that's not the point of this. It's also having an abundant mindset, which comes from experience, understanding that I've seen so many times over years. Every single week provides such a abundance of opportunities, abundance of trades that you can take. Doesn't mean you're going to be profitable, but they're there. And, you know, if I don't see something in a day where I'm really, really comfortable with and I don't have a lot of things to take it, then I'm just not going to trade it. You know, if price moved, let's say 1,000 handles in the PM session, I still wouldn't care. I know that tomorrow the market's going to move and it's going to be open. I know Wednesday is going to move. Thursday, Friday, I know next week's going to move. Next month is going to move. I know a year from now it's going to move. So to me, that's always it's a good thing with FOMO. If you struggle with that a lot, is to have a long-term vision view, to have something where you're constantly looking at the long-term vision rather than short-term, right now, right here, I have to trade it. Like, even if I was in a trade today, this would have felt like somebody was pulling my toenails off. Personally, I wouldn't have liked to be in it. Sure, could I have made money and did all that? Sure, but I wouldn't have enjoyed it. No, I may end the stream here. It was a good first stream back. I'm happy with it. I'm happy everybody's back here, and we're just gonna keep going with it, man. I mean, you guys all know the vibes if you've been here. It's same stuff as last year. So I think that's gonna be it. I'm gonna upload the check my Twitter if you're not already following me. I'll check my Twitter. I'm gonna do my best. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to do it every day, but every day I want to do like annotations in depth with screenshots, and I'm gonna post it on my Twitter, then YouTube, and I'm gonna have the daily log up, which is a review, a recap over the market and what we did today, and I think that's where a lot of learning gets done as well. So we'll be back here tomorrow. Until then, enjoy everybody. Peace out.